Hello, I'm Jonathan Pierce with Pierce Performance, and this week's performance tip is on Bulletproof coffee. I often get asked what I do for coffee consumption, and if I, once I tell them I drink Bulletproof coffee, most people want to know how I make it. There's plenty of videos on the website on how to make it. This is just my version and what I think about it. I first heard about Bulletproof coffee in 2011 or 12, I can't remember which, a long time ago. And then I thought it sounded weird, so I didn't try it right away. And then I started drinking it religiously in 2014. Perhaps I tried it in 2013, but I started really drinking it regularly since 2014 and pretty much have been on it since then. Sometimes I cycle off, especially on vacations and things like that. But I really liked what it did for my energy levels, my mental kind of acuity, and then also my I think it helps body comp, frankly. So there's four main reasons that I like to drink Bulletproof coffee. One is that it's a good way to get healthy fats in. So you can pack in a bunch of healthy fats first thing in the morning this way. As Charles Poliquin is famous for saying, you have to deserve your carbs, and a lot of us still, even though we're conscious of it, we consume too many carbs. And so I think you gotta replace those carbs with something if you're not gonna have carbs, and so or you're gonna try to cut back. And this is an easy way to cut back on carb consumption and try to improve insulin sensitivity and decrease cortisol fluctuations in the morning, things like that. So for me, the healthy fat punch that we get from it right away is really valuable. The next thing is that I think the fats actually slow the caffeine absorption, and we know that fat is a slower absorbed molecule than some other things. So the slower absorption of the caffeine is really nice, because then your jitters, if you do get jittery from caffeine, and I actually don't get a lot, I'm fairly tolerant to caffeine, but even so, that feels less. It feels like less of an extreme kind of sensation from the caffeine, and then it tends to actually stretch out the effects of the caffeine through the day for me. So I kind of feel like I run at a very nice 3,000, 4,000 RPMs all day, instead of a big surge and then a lull. So you don't end up needing that second cup of coffee later in the afternoon, which is a positive. And then the other thing would be intermittent fasting. It's a good way to kind of facilitate an intermittent fast, in my opinion. So it makes it easier for me if I have this in the morning and get all those good fats, then I can stretch out the time through the day where I don't necessarily have to eat, and so maybe I'm eating now at that 14, 15, 16 hour window of time, and then I pack all my calories into that 8 to 10 hour window in the 24. And the final reason to do it is it tastes great. So we'll see in a second. Okay, so the first thing that I do here, I like to use an immersion blender, so I put all my ingredients in this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with MCT oil powder, okay? So we'll put in a scoop of that. This is from Quest Nutrition MCT oil powder. Then I'm gonna put in Kerrygold butter, and I'm going to use a pretty good dose of that. I don't measure anymore. I've got an eyeball. That's about 3 tablespoons. Put that in, and then I'm going to put in at least 1.5 tablespoons of Bulletproof Brain Octane. So I've already French pressed my coffee. So I've got French pressed coffee here. I'm going to pour that in, and we're going to put in about right at 400 milliliters is the total number. And then immersion blend. I like to use the immersion blender because then I'm not subjecting hot coffee to plastic, or plastic to hot coffee. And I have a big problem with plastic contamination, especially when it's heated. So putting that hot fluid into plastic doesn't make any sense to me because of the toxic bleed that you're going to get. So we're just going to do it in glass and prevent that. So I just blend it up and it gets nice and frothy. And that should do it. There we go. And that's the final end result. A frothy, delicious looking cup of Bulletproof coffee. And it's really good. That's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed the performance tip on Bulletproof coffee, and looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Be well until then, and happy Tuesday or happy Wednesday.